In this week's episode, we discuss how Boris Johnson is still in the office of number 10. The office. Shit, man. Imagine if he was in the office. That'd be sick. Anyway, what would your wife have to do to end your career? How TV is changing with the BBC licensed fee being frozen, and cultural awareness given the fact that we, Indians, minorities, whatever you want to call us, have been here for a pretty fucking long time. Listen through to find out more. Welcome to this week's episode of the Indian Dots podcast. What's happening, everyone? I hope everyone's doing well because, you know, the Prime Minister ain't getting sacked anytime soon. And,
nobody really told me that was against rules. I can only just apologize.
You got MPs jumping to different parties, literally jumping parties, changing from Tory to Labour. You've got people who can get away with murder. It's actual madness, the world that we're living in the UK. And this is normal. This is all very normal now, everyone.
So when the email comes and it says, "Listen, Mudio, साडा weather बहुत बढ़िया. असी garden party करनी है. अपनी बोतल लेके आयो." Okay. When you get
that's pretty much the Punjabi version of what was written in that email, saying, "Weather's beautiful, guys. Let's go outside and have a drink, shall we?
And listen, guys, bring your own bottle.
Bring your own bottle."
There's no way around that being, a work party. And the thing is, I think I was walking down the corridor the other day and somebody actually showed me the video where, I don't know where he was being interviewed. It looked like he was might have been a hospital, but he's wearing a mask, Boris.
Was this yesterday's interview with Beth Ridley from Sky News? That's the most car crash interview I've ever seen in my lifetime. 60 minutes of just pure grimacing pain. And I watch it and I'm like, how are you still standing and still there? And I'm just like, if you didn't have if you didn't have the face mask on, hiding some sort of grimacing on his behalf, I think it would have looked worse. Right?
How can you? There's one, we all know what it is, right? So there's either you own up, but it's just now constant his narrative of denial that no, I wasn't informed, and obviously you got his former aide saying no, he was definitely informed and warned about this. He's like, he's like, mate, you're making the rules, you're the PM, you don't have that plausible deniability. You cannot ever say that, man.
You got to think this is one of the worst political scandals to have happened in a very long time, right? UK wise, anyway, one of the worst easily, and it keeps on snowballing, Karan. You know, when you think it's done, it's like, no, here's another one. No, here's another one. Here's another one. Well, that's like 8 parties, and I'm like, man, I haven't even had 8 parties in the last 3 years to attend to, weddings included. Right? How the fuck have they managed this?
Mate, big boys in number 10.
Big boys in number 10.
What did he say? He actually, because I think it's the first time he's actually given more detail about what he remembers of the event. He was like,
oh man, he was just saying, came outside. I'm not sure how long for.
About 25 minutes.
No. He said, I'm not sure how long for, but about 25 minutes. So you do know how long you're outside for.
And he said, we were just, I was telling him about all the great work they've done. That's plausible. Like I can understand that bit. And he's like, well, and then I just went back to my office to do work. Yeah. And I'm like, okay. So then did the Mundio like kind of carry on with the party? It's one of those, like, when you do a desi party and your parents are like, we're going to sleep, but the party carries on. It's like Boris is like, okay, I'm going to go now. But you enjoy yourself. Don't know.
I just keep thinking, how big is this fucking flat in number 10? Like, how big is it? Because I'm sitting there like...
It's deceptive, isn't it, from the outside?
Apparently, it is plausible that somebody at the top of number 10 wouldn't be able to hear a party going on downstairs. That's how big it is.
Is it big, or have they had it specially...
I genuinely don't know, but from the outside, it looks small, doesn't it? It looks like, it's just a normal flat. But no, apparently it's quite deep.
But I feel like the garden is like shared maybe between a couple of the houses.
Potentially,
because when you look at that picture of the garden, it's quite big, man. It's like a decent size.
Yeah, but that's a garden that's taken from an angle. You can make anything look good from a wide angle. So
words of photographer. There's that. So there was Mr. Boris this week. So I don't know, man. And when he got roasted in the the House of Commons
today,
single MP. I didn't see today. I don't know today, but a few days ago, you obviously got Labour Party, and then I think there's one point where Boris stands up and says, I would remind my honourable gentleman to, act properly or something. And everyone just started laughing, man.
I think he's just a laughing stock. And apparently polling for the I think it's not for the Tory party specifically, but for the election, is just really bad for the Tories. Like they've lost a huge number of seats. Labour poll better than they do, which is the first. That doesn't normally happen.
In a long time, man. You got
Yeah, and
was
it's
it
getting worse
David
and
Cameron?
worse.
David Cameron, I think it was the first. That was the change, wasn't it, from Labour to Conservative in the most recent past, and that was
It was when he did the coalition government with the Lib Dems. Yeah.
yeah. So I was still studying medicine. I want to say it's 2010, 11. I think that was the year.
That was when it just started. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I remember. Yeah, yeah. I was doing my exams at the time when they were having the election. They had one of the
No,
ministerial
wait. I
debates.
don't think it was. I think it was
Check
earlier
it.
than that. Hang on.
UOB, they had a prime ministerial debate at our Great Hall, and I think it was 2010. Have a look. You checking?
Yeah, I'm checking. Go on, Karen.
Indy's the resident fact checker. Look at him. Look at that concentration in his face. Not blinking.
He's staring into my eyes.
I like your top.
Okay. Thank you. I like it too. It's very baggy and comfortable. Right, there we go. Britain finally went to the polls in 2010. Yeah. So they won but it was hung parliament in 2010. Yeah. So that was when I was in sixth form, May 6th in 2010. I remember that. Yeah.
Second year medicine. I remember watching on TV with my family because I remember the bit where
wasn't that first year medicine for you?
Second, 2008/9 to 2010/11 was second year.
Okay, yeah.
I remember specifically watching the TV, and when the prime minister was elected, he then goes to the Queen to
but he went with Nick Clegg, didn't he? He had to go together,
holding hands. Yeah, that's it.
yeah.
Yeah, so you're right. Labour polling high is after a very, very, very long time.
It's very, very high.
Interesting. But I'm surprised. So now, what are we waiting for? Like a vote of no confidence? Is that coming? I presume that's the only. If
no one knows, it's really up to the government's own power, of government's own MPs, what they want to do. It takes 54 MPs to shove a vote of no confidence to trigger a new PM, whatever it's called, internal election or electing a new leader, I guess you call it. Yeah, 54 have to sign. Only 5 have signed up to now. The rest have expressed an interest. And I'm you're chatting shit. You're not going to
don't bash the man if you're not going to either call for that, because that's you're either saying okay, Boris, please resign. Okay, if that's not happening, what's the second thing? Vote no confidence. Just get on with it if that's what you want. Otherwise, shut up, man.
But there's so many people there that are playing politics, Karen. Like even people that have marched out to be in support of him. You've got, who is it? Dominic Raab coming out saying, yeah, I completely understand the public's outrage, but let's move on now. We need to focus on vaccines. We need to focus on my fucking hell. Okay, cool. You've got him, Nadine Dorris. You've got Priti Patel. You've got Rishi Sunak. Rishi Sunak walked out of an interview with Manchester Evening News after being quizzed on it, saying he gave a statement last week. I believe everything he said in his statement. I was like, really? Really? And I think he's playing politics because he doesn't want to lose.
Well, yeah, he's picked a side. Favor. Yeah.
All of it's just doing best for them, their own interests.
On that point you mentioned there about the vaccine, I read something the other day which said that, you remember in December we had this big announcement from Boris when we thought the next lockdown was going to come. He basically said, look, we're going to get everyone boosted. Bang, 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 December.
Yeah, but that was because the Christmas party stuff came out.
Yeah, absolutely. And now apparently loads of these booster vaccines have been thrown away. The uptake for the booster vaccine has been really poor. And I thought that was very, very interesting, where I'm part of this one Facebook group, which is basically full of Northerners, and they're very, very skeptical. And it was something like, how many vaccines do you think we're going to have? And there's a box like 3, 4, 5, 6, more than 7 or something like that. And it's just, I think people have lost confidence. A lot of people I've seen now are double vaccinated, as in the people coming to hospital. But a lot of people, they're just like, nah, two's enough, man. That's it. I'll take the hit if it comes. But, yeah.
Which is quite scary if you think about it. But I understand, man. I think my stance has changed on it. I'm like, look, if you don't want to get vaccinated now, I think if you're not going to willing to do it now, that's fine. It's up to you if you don't want to get the booster jab or whatever, because even if you get the booster, it doesn't stop you from catching it. It stops the severity of it. And that's up to you if you want to have a more severe response. But that is like, I think for people thinking they're already vaccinated, they're thinking, oh, I've passed the minimum threshold. And it's really up to them now at this point. And with the weak uptake and the government just writing off stuff left, right, and center, they're probably thinking, who cares, man? Let's just get back to normal life.
Yeah, people are definitely trying. On that point, I just want to make it like super, super clear. everybody who's listening, and please spread on this message. The point of vaccine, this vaccine, any vaccine, is that it's not about stopping you getting the condition. That's really important. Yeah. In the same way, a seatbelt
was it advertised in that way though, Karan? I don't think it was.
No, it's not. This is where the misinformation. I think people are getting sad that they've got vaccine. Like I had a man come in today with some chest pain, triple jabbed. Okay, and I was like, "So have you had COVID?" He said, "Yeah, I got COVID in December after being triple jabbed." I still got it, and he was surprised. I was like, "Why are you surprised?" I was like, "Did you end up in hospital?" I was like, "No." I was like, "The vaccine worked." Then the vaccine is a seatbelt. If you're gonna have a car crash, you want to have the seatbelt. Simple as that. It doesn't stop you having the car crash.
Yeah, that's a really good analogy.
That is the best analogy that I've heard. Please spread it on. So that's my message this week about what a vaccine is and how it works. Okay, will not stop you getting it. To stop you getting it, be sensible. That's a different form of advice. Okay, the stuff we've been saying from the start: wash your hands, limit your contact, 2-meter distance hasn't changed. If you are going to get it, you want to be in the best position to, like you said, have. Anyway, that's my code piece for this week.
Fair play, man. Fair play. But yeah, man, it's been a hell of a week in the UK, just in general, and they're now moving into everyone go back to work and stuff, which is cool. I mean, fine. I guess
is that what they're saying now?
Normal. They said today, yeah, everybody head back to the office next week. They're hoping by March everyone can stop wearing masks and all that stuff. So
I do not like the traffic, man. This traffic situation, this rebound traffic, I'm calling it, right?
What do you mean?
Zero traffic, and now you got this bloody
everyone rushing back.
Yeah, and it's just like I look at people, I'm like, just stay home, work, man. You know that there's that meme that people do, like, be like Tom. I'm gonna make one about you, like you work from home. Be like Indy, work from home.
Don't get on the tube. Don't put any money into the economy.
Just don't, man.
Just buy from Amazon Prime and work from home. That's it, right?
And listen to the Indian Doctor podcast.
And listen to the Indian Doctor podcast. I like that. Yeah, man. It's been a hell of a week, honestly, for the UK and for politics and all that stuff. But let's try and keep it a bit happier. So on a happier note, Karan, you're into tennis.
I am a big tennis.
Tell me your thoughts about Novak Djokovic being moved,
deported,
in and out, and now he's gone.
Yeah, I think that ultimately, I think it's the right decision. I do agree with no special measures for one person. Tennis is bigger than one star. Obviously, he's one of the greatest of all time. Would have liked to see him play. He's got 9 titles in Australia. This would be the 10th. So that's more Grand Slams in the opening era than anybody on that format. In the same way, Nadal has 10 on the French, and Federer has 8 at Wimbledon. That would have been cool. If he'd won, he would have gone to 21 men's singles titles or Grand Slams, more than Nadal and Federer. They're all at least 20. So that was big. Okay. But the thing I don't like is it's not like he came and he was expecting to get it. Apparently there was like, he had recent COVID and there was a exemption thing that they filed. It wasn't like he just turned up. So I was like, well, if you're already allowing that, if you've already said that's fine, then this flip-flop, that bit I didn't like. You either don't let him come in, you're very clear with your decision.
Yeah.
This is the policy. But there's bringing him in and then saying you've granted, then revoking it again. Had he been allowed to stay, I don't know how his mindset would have been, man. Like, it might have fueled him a bit more. He might have enjoyed playing under that pressure. But end of the day, yeah, I think, look, if that's the policy of the country, then you have to respect that. And tennis is bigger than one person.
Yeah, I think with tennis, it's a very unique example because they travel to so many different countries. I think most sports tend to play within just one country for an extended period of time, whether that's your local league. I think issues arise when you start playing international games in football, for example, where you have to have some sort of vaccination status. And I don't exactly know what the numbers are of players that are and aren't vaccinated, but I don't know, man. Anyway, so I think for tennis, it's so unique that they bounce from country to country so often, and to move into a place that has strict COVID rules like Australia, very strict. I do understand his point about antibodies, where he's saying, well, I've got the antibodies, I don't need to be vaccinated. I kind of get that to an extent, of like about X amount of days, but that falls down when you see posts of him on Twitter the day after he's meant to have had COVID, of him having a picture taken. Now,
shaking hands, no mask. Yeah.
Now, what I'm thinking there is I'm like, okay, 2 things. You can get out of that by saying that picture was taken a couple of days before, and I'm just uploading it as a late thing, unless there were other photographers there on the day that actually saw him take the picture on the 17th of December. You see what I mean? So maybe he just loaded it up late. I honestly don't know, but it doesn't work in his favor that he's using that. I do think his stance on taking a vaccine and stuff has made him a bit of a cult hero now. And it's probably made his status even heavier. And it's made people more polarized by sending him out the country. So it's sort of a double-edged sword, isn't it? If you send him back, you're going to have people that are like, oh my God, how can you do this? And if you let him in, you're going to have the whole of your own nation saying, what the fuck? So you have to do what's best for your country, don't you? And send him back.
Absolutely. Do you want civil unrest, right? They've been in such tight lockdown. I've got a couple of friends in Australia talking about it. It's like, you do that and then you will have protests on your hands.
Yeah.
You're right. You'd rather have your own country on side. Okay, fine. You've got the free world and other people who are against vaccines just talking up, but okay, they can take that on the chin. You got the Prime Minister of Serbia, Djokovic is Prime Minister, President, saying this is outrage. But that stuff will just die over. Like, that's it. The Australian is happening now, isn't it? So
yeah, it's happened, and it's not happened. It's happening.
It's happening.
And people have just kind of moved on a little bit.
Well, you do. I mean, it is what it is. It's not like people are going to boycott the games. I'm not going to turn up.
No chance.
So yeah. It's sad. I get it. There should have been more clarity. Letting him land to be put in a hotel to be deported, that just seems a bit cruel.
You see the headlines as well, over sensationalized, like, oh my God, he's staying in a hotel with people that are really, really broke and that have nothing. And I'm like, yeah, they're highlighting how bad the situation is of people that are put in that predicament. What's wrong with that? But they're saying, no, how dare you put him in that hotel? I'm like, sorry, am I supposed to fucking put him up in the Marriott? Like, what are you expecting? That's simply how it goes. And that's the rules. I'm not saying it's right to put people in those conditions, but you should be talking about the bigger issue of people living in those conditions, not tennis star goes through those conditions. Different kind of way of putting it across.
Yeah, and he doesn't strike me as the type who particularly cares about that. I don't think he's demanding in that sense.
No.
It's a short period of time. He has more than enough money to have anything brought to him if he needs it. So, I mean, you're right. It's the way it's reported. It's reported in such a weird angle. You're focusing on the wrong issue here. This isn't the key.
Big slant.
No.
All in the pursuit of clicks.
Yes, everything's about clicks. The number of things that Cricket Info gets on me, right? Statement said by Virat Kohli about this, and this, and this, and this. And then I read it, and it's just like the smallest thing, and it's not even controversial. I was like, oh.
Yeah, Karan, it's the smallest thing. And have you noticed how they beef it out, saying, Virat Kohli, age 34, of plays for this team.
And then the whole background. And then I don't need that shit, man.
The ex-India cricket captain. I'm like, man, you guys really pad this out. Boom,
with like
boom, boom.
Background and context.
And I'm like, you're giving me unnecessary context. Just tell me what you said. Sometimes if people are nice enough, they will write in the comments what it actually was. And they'll say like, I'll save you a click. It's this. And I'm like, cheers, mate. All right. Yeah, I wonder if that gets if those comments get taken down or something, just to stop people from reading the comments and not clicking it. But yeah,
potentially. Yeah,
the clickbait nature.
Big thing that happened recently it was on the weekend actually. Virat Kohli mentioned or announced his retirement from Test cricket as captain.
Yeah,
huge news, man. Like this dude has done so much for Indian cricket. Last year, India rampage, man. Like beat everybody in Test cricket virtually. And now he steps down, and I don't know, man. Rohit Sharma, I like him as a player. I didn't see him as a Test captain though, so we'll see. You're not much.
I don't know. I don't know much about it. I think the last time I paid attention to cricket is like the World Cup or something.
Yeah.
Only when it's a big tournament. I know England got battered 4-0 in the Ashes, and I know that they keep crumbling badly. But that's just me looking at the BBC Sport headlines and just seeing it briefly.
Well, it's just everywhere, isn't it? And yeah, exactly. BBC News. Oh my God, England got battered, man. They're calling for their coach to be changed, their captain to be changed. And then on the last test, when they finished, I think it was just yesterday, some of the players were drinking till like 6 a.m. and then they called the police, and the police had to shut down their party.
Why are people surprised by that?
By what?
By the England cricket players getting absolutely lashed.
With the Australian players, both of them.
Really? Yeah, together?
That's the thing. Look, after the game, a lot of the players, because they're playing so many leagues together now, in county, IPL, there is obviously rivalry, but when it's done, isn't it? And at the end of the day, like they don't often show it, but I think at the last Ashes, the one that was in England after the last World Cup, so talking 2019, August, September time, the dressing room at the end of the last test, everyone was just like drinking beers and just, chilling out. The thing is, it got reported and I was like, I don't see the problem here.
Yeah, I don't either.
They play hard cricket. It's 4 tests. they're not going to see each other for a while now. Just enjoying it. Like I didn't see why there's such a big. They weren't rude. They weren't like pissing on anyone. There's no like unruly conduct. That has
Yeah.
happened in the cricket scene as well. There's
Yeah,
nothing
it
like
has.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's just, I don't know. I thought it was a bit blown out of context.
I think people are just looking for headlines in it, man. Let's
Oh,
be
man.
honest.
Just shit in it. Like just bloody shit.
On a side note of that, have you noticed that things have gone very quiet about the racism inquiry to cricket raised by Azim?
They've kind of been overshadowed by the Ashes now and how poor England have been
Of course
doing.
it has. Of course it has. Yeah, yeah.
But I have been following something about Yorkshire and how they're now bidding to allow, be allowed to play games. Obviously, there's no revenue coming in now. But yeah, it's kind of had that spike, hasn't it? And
Yeah, and I'm waiting for the
now?
next thing to come. I think I took a look at it earlier, and it's saying that, excuse me, they're tackling racism. They're still looking into it, and the ECB is meant to update MPs on it this week.
Okay, fine.
That's it. So maybe something will come out of it. If that doesn't make headlines, you'll definitely hear from us about it for next week, because it just says a lot, doesn't it? You hear about the story, you don't tend to hear about the resolution.
Indy's thinking about it. We could get him on the podcast.
Azim.
Yeah.
I think he's got bigger shit to do, man. Honestly.
I'm telling you, man. Look, he's obviously.
All due respect, I'd rather him go and fight the good cause than jump on our podcast. Right.
I will speak to him, man. I'm a big cricket fan. I'll speak.
Go on. You can talk to him, and I'll leave that with you. I will happily have him on.
Excellent. Right, leave that to me then. I think it's important. I think we have become the voice to champion.
Don't get me wrong. I'd be so flattered if he came on. I'm like, mate, this would be great to talk to you. But yeah.
Okay. But yes, it has been side noted, and there is more popular news, and it's all. Look, the thing about English cricket is this, man. When they were shitting 50 over, they were like, "You need to reform the game. You need to be more attacking. You need to be like the Australian Indian."
I heard about that coming out a few years ago as well. Yeah.
And they did, man. Look, they won the World Cup. Okay, so they're an aggressive team. But the thing with one-day cricket, T20 cricket, obviously more exciting. But then it's limited over cricket. It's a different game. It's go out there and smash the ball around. Test cricket, like, people just don't understand how mentally hard this game is. Like, if you have to go and bat for 100 overs, it's not survival, man. Most people are going to get bowled out. It's very rare that you can what we call bat out a day or save a game. So a lot of the players now, they just do not have the patience because they don't have the temperament to play this form of the game. Now, the way cricket's going now is you've got basically your specialist test team, then your one-day team, then you have a few players like the all-rounders that can't play both. That's kind of the way teams are going now. Like Joe Root's England captain, but he's test. He doesn't really play one day or T20. So that's
weird because you think that I would think if you're able to hack a longer form game, a quicker form game would be easier for you. That's what I would think, because in that one, you're just playing off instinct. You don't have to think too hard. I mean, I'm putting a hard tinfoil hat on here because I don't know much about it, but you would think if something requires a higher amount of ability and patience, you'd be able to thrive at that. And then if something's beneath that, theoretically, you'll be completely fine.
I think the way people should look at it is not that one is greater than the other. Yes. So in cricket, what we say is that
people say it's the purest form, though. They say it's the purest form of cricket.
50 over and T20 is an exhibition, whereas test cricket is an examination. That's the analogy they use in cricket. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. That's fair.
Really looking at all aspects of your game. You're under the microscope, and that's what they say. The problem is, it's more like in test cricket, you could happily block out 50 balls for 5 runs. That's okay. Problem is, if you do that same thing in one-day cricket, you obviously used up all your balls. So yes, I understand what you're saying, but sometimes turning it on, as it were, and just becoming aggressive, it's hard for people when their temperament now is just
when they're so used to that. Yeah, true. I guess so. You're kind of working against instinct.
Specialist players, and you got some people are good at this, some people are good at this, and I think if they know what they're good at and they have like separate teams for that, maybe that's the way forward. But it's just constant thing, man. Then England will get better at test cricket, and then their one-day cricket will go crap again. Then they'll be like, "Oh, we need to reform this part of the game again." It's hard to be dominant in all 3 formats. There are teams that are good at it. Australia being one of them, India being one of them, recent New Zealand, one of them at the moment. We'll see.
Fair point. All right, next topic. So the PM's wife clearly broke COVID rules, yeah?
Oh, with the garden party thing?
Yeah. So what could Shindy do to get you in trouble as a professional in your job?
You mean it's a COVID or not COVID, or what do you mean?
I mean, just yeah, sure, anything, anything. Why not?
Ask me the question again. What could?
Oh, hang on, is my signal going?
No, you're fine.
No. All right. So,
No.
what could Shindy do to get you in trouble in your job?
What could Shindy do that would get me in trouble with my job?
This gap is presented to you by Dr. Jazz Mavi. He's thinking very, very carefully right now.
It's quite hard, man. I don't know. I mean, sometimes I don't wear my mask in public, and she gets a bit angry. But
That's
she's a bit angry.
That's it.
Yeah, I mean, that wouldn't really get me wrong with my job, but she doesn't look. She looks at me like with a big frown. You know what it is for me? It's like basically there was 1 week. Oh, it was with you. It was with you in Sanjaman when we were. Yeah, you were there.
I remember.
We
Yeah,
were on you remember, and it was just like I wear it all week, man. Like scars my face in 10 hours a day. I was like, I don't want to wear it, and so that would probably get me in trouble. But,
what could she do though? Not you. What could she do that would get you in trouble?
I always see it's not what is she doing to get me.
No.
I'm listening. Okay. What behavior could she do? You mean that would get me in trouble at work? If you jumped on a public platform and started telling stories of patients that maybe I told.
It's a breaking doctor privilege. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I get. Yeah, like confidential. Obviously, I don't share any names or anything like that. It's just like stories and things. But I guess that could be that.
Is it instinct to you now to just black out names?
You just don't. You just like so. Whenever we're talking to each other, even as doctors, oh man, I had this patient that came in. That's always how we start. We had this patient that came in.
Oh, I see. It's like instinct.
So it's just anonymized, but there's no real reason ever to use the name. That's a tough question, man. I think she's quite good. I don't think she'd have to do anything to embarrass me. Even like a scandal, isn't it? Like what would cause Dr. Jazz maybe a scandal?
What would cause you to have a scandal?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think you're quite bulletproof, to be honest. I don't think there's anything that could be said that will make you lose everything.
She knows me intimately. She knows she's seen me when I'm most vulnerable. That's another side that a lot of people see. So there is a perception of what Dr. Jazz Mavi is, and that is most of the time what you see in the platforms. But obviously there is a side to me where I'm super vulnerable as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which she finds not funny. Funny is the wrong word. That makes it sound like she doesn't have any feelings. It's not funny to her. It's more like when she sees how some people or circles may revere me, she's like, you haven't seen him when he's like not like this. And if you did, you'd be like, this is really funny. It's hard to explain. But yeah, that's probably it. That's what she finds entertaining. The way other people perceive me and how obviously she knows me. So obviously one side that people see is part of what I am, but there are obviously other different levels to that.
No, I get that. But I think the thing for you to be a scandal would have to be telling patient names out to people or something like you did this on the job and didn't tell anyone, you got away with it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Something like that.
I'm not going to ask you to tell me anything because I don't want you
to. No. There's nothing like that, man. Medicine, you got to be, you got to be held to a high moral and ethical standard. And number one thing we always kind of practice by is patient safety, right? And so as long as you abide by that, so you hand over appropriately. If I'm leaving the hospital, then somebody knows about the patient's care. Like today, man, I was leaving and there was something outstanding. Inform the patient, inform the person, document of the person who I've told, and this is the action plan. So it's all just transparency is a big thing.
I agree.
What about you? Same question.
I don't have anything in mind because my job's marketing, so there's not really much you can do unless I tell you.
Marketing or is it manipulation?
It's the same thing, really, and I'll be honest with you.
Absolutely,
it is what it is.
Marketing
it is what it
is. A nice word for, hey, look at this and buy this because you don't need this, but I'm going to make you buy it anyway. Come on.
But we sell clothing, innit? So it's like,
Okay. Follow question. Don't even give me that shit.
How much?
How many clothes does one person need? That's the real
That's up
question.
to them. That's up to them.
No,
The people-
no, don't give me this dirty, okay? If we encourage
Karen,
people to live frugally,
Karen,
if we encourage people to live
Karen,
frugally and not be so
Karen,
materialistic and not
Doctor,
be like Indy with his little tops,
Jazz.
all these.
Can you listen to what I'm about to say? The type of advertising I do is not what you think. You think I'm preying on people, forcing an ad down their throat, right?
Right.
No, we do the opposite. Ours is a bit softer. So Google Ads is you're searching for something and I serve you an ad based on that search.
You're
It's
doing
different.
pull marketing.
I'm not jumping on Facebook showing you an ad like, hey, we got a sale. Do you want to jump on? Right? No. It's like you're looking for t-shirt. I show you t-shirt. That's it. Right.
Pull marketing. Okay.
Yeah, it's different.
All right. It's not Facebook ads. That's what you're saying.
No, it's not Facebook ads. I think Facebook ads get a bad rap compared to
no, they do
Google
because
ads.
you're scrolling, you're not looking for something particularly, like you said, but then it presents itself, and then you start thinking, "Oh, do I need it?" Sits in your subconscious, and then you keep seeing it again and again and again. Oh, I'm really keep seeing this. This must be a sign. I should buy it. Bullshit. Man.
Sometimes that happens. But when was the last time you bought something on Facebook? Really, I haven't bought anything on Facebook in months, maybe years. By the way, I said Facebook and not Instagram. It's different.
Yeah, Facebook. No, I do quite often, but the thing I buy are like theater tickets, which you know about. If I get targeted for that, I'm more than happy. Because when I get that message, I'm saying it to, your wife for like vetting and checking, should we watch this? And then that's it. She said, yes.
Is it worth it?
Is it worth it? That's all I need to know now. So I do actually enjoy that marketing. That's like bang on. It's like, I actually enjoy this. Thank you for showing it to me. Or theater or comedy, that kind of stuff. But like clothes and stuff, yeah, man. I don't, you know how I am. I'm super frugal when it comes to that kind of stuff. So I'm always of the mindset. I don't want to be my time on the planet is not here to hoard and collect things. My time on this planet is to have interesting conversations, is spend quality time with people, and just have, as many things as I need in that journey.
If your time on this planet isn't to hoard and collect things, then why do you collect money?
I don't collect money. No one collects money.
You kind of do because you're a businessman. So you do collect money to a point. No. Collecting money is different to making money that you then spend. It's the flow of money, isn't it? It's different. I didn't collect it for collecting sake. You collect it so you can do things with it. That's different. There's no way of doing those things. Which allows you to theoretically collect other things.
Not collect, have experiences. Not collecting.
No, but you are collecting stuff.
What,
with your property stuff. With your property
but
stuff.
Why the property? Why the property? But again, the property is not for the property's sake.
No. I'm just giving an example. I'm not saying all you do is that. I'm saying
but even that. Let's pick that apart. What's the point of the property?
An investment.
For what purpose?
I don't know. Why do you do property stuff? To future-proof yourself?
Diversify
your portfolio?
Now again, you're talking. It's very like obvious what you're saying, which is fine. These things are all right. It's not the end game though. The end game is here's some money, so I can go and do some stuff I want to do, or go and help somebody with it. That's it. That's what it's all about. So collecting, if I'm going to collect something, is collecting memories and experiences. That's it, man. That's all it's ever about. Choice and freedom. But you need a vehicle for that, and the vehicle is money. Money is the vehicle.
It is the vehicle for sure. But I think all of us are guilty of collecting stuff to an extent. I know you're saying
I'm not.
But we are
exactly. To a degree, I'm saying I don't want to ramp that up. Do as much. Like minimalism is not about having nothing. Minimalists still need to have things. Yeah, that's a different thing, man. If you don't have anything, I'm saying not becoming attached to things, because the experience I've had is when you get things, the anticipation of getting something like Christmas is really high. Then you get the thing, you're really happy with it, but then how long does it last? It doesn't last. So these things don't serve you. Like, okay, I got the Hackett top. It's nice. I like it. But I don't think about it every day and be like, oh my God, that Hackett top. Like that feeling doesn't sustain me, right? So you're never, ever going to get that from any physical thing.
I get it.
Collect to a degree, but the game is not to just become a hoarder.
Okay,
also, I liked what you did, man. How are you going to start quoting us now?
What do you mean?
We're going to have our own, the guests have their quotes on the Instagram page.
No, I didn't do anything. That was our editor. I didn't do anything.
He
picked that out for me. Yeah, he picked that out for me. I said, yeah, cool. Go for it.
Let's do that going forward then, man. I think that's good. We got good things to say. You got good things to say. You told me today you're not a predator marketer. That's important. I didn't know that.
I am not a predator.
You're a predator.
Predator marketer.
You are a
Oh,
predator,
man.
man. Sitting there on bloody Black
Fucking
Friday, like,
apex predator.
I
the
will
one at the
make
top.
you buy my.
Wait, I'm bleeping that word, man. I don't want people knowing where I work. All right.
Okay, you believe that shit out. And like, you would look good in this. Try this on.
Yeah, thank you. Oh man. Yeah, man. So that was a good topic. I don't even know what topic that fucking was, man.
That was cool. What can your wife do to give you cause you bestie? That's the bestie
To
segment.
give you your ultimate bestie. All right.
Yeah, that's it.
Cool. All right, next topic.
Boom, boom.
All right. So if you think about it, Indian people, yeah, even black people, Chinese people,
Okay.
Asian people, basically all minorities.
Yeah.
Right. We kind of have innovated the British culture a little bit if you think about it, food wise. So if you think about
Food-wise, okay,
the best veggie fast food is Indian food. Indian food, isn't it? It is.
Is this a poll or is this your opinion?
No. If you think about it logically, if you're thinking what's the best variety of food that's vegetarian, it's Indian food, right?
Yeah. Okay.
What's saving gastropubs, as you spoke to Indy Hotti? It's Punjabi desi man pubs, right? That's saving the pub industry.
Yes.
What's the ratio of the population of like Asian people working in the UK versus that work in the NHS? I'm pretty sure minorities or BAME people make up a massive amount of the NHS.
Yep.
So therefore, why are we all treated like shit so much?
Okay, go on.
That's genuinely the question. Nothing. I was just thinking, like, why are we all treated so badly if we do so much? And people even recognize.
Been your experience?
No. I'm just saying in general. If you look at, bills passed politically, the way that people have been treated over the years, etc., just taking all those things into account. People even think that the British dish for England, England
chicken
or Britain,
balti, chicken curry.
It's a fucking chicken curry. It's
chicken
not
curry,
it's not fish and chips.
Balti, mate. Not fish and chips, mate.
Yeah, it's weird.
No. I remember it. It's chicken tikka masala. That's what we want, isn't it?
Oh god.
Tikka masala, bit of chips, bit of naan, bit of naan bread. Yeah.
Dear Lord. Horrible. Yeah, man. I just don't get why the hate for us is there, man. It's weird. It's weird. I really wish I could understand it. And people have written comments on YouTube and stuff trying to tell us, and it's just baseless answers.
Did you see the one about the bill?
Yeah, it's baseless answers, man. I'm like, okay.
People want the bill.
I'll bite. Tell me more then. No reply. I'm like, okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Yeah. People are weird, man, honestly. But
okay,
I don't get it.
Real story. So on the weekend, I'm in Oxford. Okay, just gone. It's a little village called Lavelle. Okay, it's kind of South Cotswolds, about 30 minutes from Oxford main city. Okay. It's me, Raj, and Qatar. Okay, we're sitting in this pub. They've clearly never seen Indian people before. Right? There's an elderly couple which is sitting just here. Qatar and I obviously have big beards. And we're just enjoying the meal, whatever. Very nice pub. Okay, and towards the end of the meal, the elderly couple are getting ready to leave. They come over to our table. I think obviously they've heard us talking, observed us, and obviously he didn't feel threatened, so they came over. And they were like, so you're not from here. Where are you from? But none of us felt like threatened. None of us felt threatened. We didn't feel like it was a racist comment or anything. And they're just genuinely like, okay, you don't see many Asians or Indians around here. We're like, yeah, we're from Birmingham or Warsaw, whatever we said. And then the person had like some sort of story about how he's connected to Indians or Indian food or something like that. But then he goes, oh, but you're not Indian, are you? Like all three of us. And then we were like, yeah, we are. And I was like, oh, so he thinks, that we're Pakis in it. That's what he thinks of it. And I was like, this is such an interesting conversation.
So he was implying that you knew you were Indian, but he's asking you aren't to confirm that you were, to say that you're not.
I don't know. But after they left, then we had another discussion about what just happened and how we were talking about intention and perception. That was a conversation we were having anyway. And it's about, well, what was the intention of this elderly couple? It wasn't to be racist. They were genuinely just intrigued. And I think by them listening to our conversation prior to them coming over, they probably felt comfortable enough to come and have a chat with us, thinking that it's not going to be confrontational, which it wasn't. And then we just had a pleasant chat and they left. And I think the important thing the important thing that I take away there is when you have these interactions, that is the opportunity to, it's not showing off, it's just to educate, right? So it's like you said, we are a valued ethnicity or population within the British population. And the best thing about being British is that we are multi-ethnic, we're integrated. We should be. That's the thing on paper. The reason why we thrive,
should be, but are
we should be. Well, I can only talk from my own experience. My experience has only ever been pleasant. Okay, so I've had massive opportunity within whatever I've done, and I've never come across anything that's sort of glass ceiling in that sense. That's not the experience of everybody. Obviously, I'm just giving you my experience. And in the same way, where I had a ward clerk, the other day, he said to me, "Oh, Jazz, we're going to call you the guru." I said, "Mate,
you can't do that, man."
Yeah, I was like, listen, I was like, this is blasphemy. He's like, no, like Guru Nanak. I was like, no.
Okay,
right, but again,
go.
Right, but again, it's like, okay, so let's talk about Guru Nanak Dev Ji, and then it's that, and then he's like, oh, what's the difference between Hindus and Sikhs? And he's like, we both celebrate Diwali. I was like, okay, but it has different significance. So as long as we don't get angered, and as long as we can see the intention behind what someone's doing, because a lot of the time it's just misinformed. That's what it is. And a lot of the time, the people I have conversations are open to learning and understanding, but you have to then come from a place of the willingness to do it, and you got to be able to articulate these things to people. So I thought it was just interesting, that story about this elderly couple. And after that, we went to play pool at this place, which looked like it was run by EDL. That was a very interesting experience as well. You walked in and it was just like, I got ID'd with this beard. They were like, we need to see your driving license. I was like, are you for real?
Checking to see if you're from the UK, mate.
Mate.
That's what they're doing.
We went in, we're not members. They're taking pictures of us. I was like, oh my God, they think we're like on a training camp or something, like come to Oxford. I was like, it's just funny, man. It's just really funny.
You were definitely there for training camp, man. My God.
Yes. Absolutely.
Still haven't answered my question though, but I get it. Yeah. I think for you it's different compared to me. With the experience.
What's your experience been?
What experience of what? Just growing up and stuff.
You no. Well, I don't know if that's where I felt your question was about more now and our experience working life.
I think it is about now, but it's also about like just a lack of help from just understanding us as people, like understanding ethnics, why they've got a history, what it's about, where it's all stemming from, why there's this history of disenfranchisement, why sometimes it can be seen that the system's against them, how people like that in Oxford do come up to you and have that conversation, even though it's well-mannered and it means well. Where's it come from? And it's like, okay, is it because you didn't hear about this in school? Exactly. And I was like, it might be. But then I'm like, okay. But then how do you educate people that are older or out of like any educational system or work system to sort of warm up to that? Does it have to be through you? It can't be through something like entertainment, because you can turn that on and off. I'm not saying you got to force it down your throat like propaganda, but there has to be some sort of, there has to be some sort of mainstream initiative to sort of get people understanding other cultures, because they clearly love our fucking food. So if you love our food, there's got to be something more to it.
And it's got to be a willingness then to, if you're going to embrace that part, you can't just embrace that element of our culture.
Exactly.
That's your point. Yeah. It's got to be an understanding.
Of all understanding behind it.
It does touch upon what we spoke about actually in the racism thing, which is about what's the solution and what's the upstream point of entry that you can actually be impressionable in somebody. Like this elderly couple, they were okay. They were still pleasantly mannered. And actually, they were willing to be open. Be right. They're not in a point in their life where they're going to go through school system.
Yeah. I've experienced it. I've experienced something similar to that as well, and I get it. I get what they're trying to say and how it's coming across. I just wish they didn't have to have felt that way to go about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it makes me think in 50 years' time, is that still going to be a thing? Or is it going to be polarized, or is it going to be worse? I don't know. It's sort of like a bit tentative, isn't it, to see how things are going to be?
No. And from a personal point of view, and I'm big on what we call personal responsibility. It's like there are big issues on the world, but how can you impact in a small way? Just picking up a bit of rubbish and putting it in the bin. For me, that's big personal responsibility. So from who am I and what do I represent? From a Sikh perspective, it's when I have the opportunity, or I see the opportunity to provide some education about who we are, what we represent, what we believe, I will always, jump on that. Because I think that's important, you're right, because then people will know. And some people know of Sikhs, but again, the things they know about Sikhs are always very kind of polarized to 5Ks, warriors, That's fine. Like it's better than not knowing anything. But then the more subtle things about actually Sikhs believe in equality. We believe actually there's one God and we all believe in the same one God. We believe in serving the whole of humanity. Like these messages need to be pushed up higher. I think it's the slogan for Khalsa Aid is see the whole of human race as one, or seen as mankind as one, is really important. That's what people need to see when the top line of Sikhism or Sikhi, or what we represent. Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's fair. We can move on to the next topic. I'll leave it be. Okay.
I'm gonna sneeze.
You can turn your mic off then.
It's okay. I suppressed it. So a little tip: if you want to suppress your sneeze,
you put your tongue at the top of your mouth.
You know about this one, do you?
Yeah, because it's the same hint that people use for trying to stop themselves from having a brain freeze. You know, when you've had something that's too cold and your head starts hurting.
Slushy.
That's how you stop it.
Were you a slushy guy?
Oh, I loved them, man. Loved them. We used to have one in my dad's off license growing up.
It's the most rank thing ever, man.
Why?
Were you blue, or red guy, or mix?
I didn't care. Mix.
Your dad an off license? You never told me that.
Yeah.
Mate, he's OG Jata, man.
Yeah.
That's it.
He owned the post office.
Label, double black, yeah. Johnny Walker, yeah.
Basically, the off license. So it used to be a post office and a pharmacy in one. Yeah.
Right.
The pharmacy moved down the road, and then it was just a post office left with like a shell around it. So my dad thought, let me just put an off license in there. So he did.
Oh, off license.
So he built an off license and a post office in one, basically. Yeah. And then now we've gutted it all out because they've both been closed down, and it's turned into a set of flats.
Yeah. Perfect.
There you go.
Good use. See, there you go, man. Collecting things, good use. Yeah.
Collecting things.
Collecting things, yeah.
They are collecting things. Collecting paychecks, bro.
Rent, man.
Collecting rent, mate.
It's your payday. Pay up, man.
All right, next topic. BBC license fee being frozen. So this is fun because it means a lot of projects are going to get cut, basically, for the coming year in production value, because the better and better things do, the more and more it costs to keep it going, right? And some respect that has to be paid to the BBC for giving minorities like a better platform. So you got the Asian Network, goodness gracious me, you've got people getting more and more exposure through their own outlets. Even though people say, "Oh, I only use BBC One, 2, and iPlayer," I'm like, "Yeah, cool, that's great," but not everyone just uses those.
Yeah.
So I think I do worry a little bit for what that means in the future for their funding, and if they're going to start cutting channels or shows, or if their quality of production value is going to go down. Yeah, it's just a bit of a shit scenario.
So when you compare, say, BBC One to ITV, right?
Yeah.
Right. So ITV is essentially like a private channel, which means it has, like, we don't pay for that. There's no subscription specifically.
No.
But
it's all private because they run adverts, don't they?
Exactly. So that's how the revenues. BBC obviously doesn't run any ads. It only advertises its own content. So where does the funding come from, BBC?
TV license.
Right. And if TV license is completely, and what's the reason for cutting TV license?
It's not cut, it's just frozen. It's frozen because the culture secretary. So the culture secretary is saying it needs to be reevaluated. We need to think of better ways of funding it.
Right.
Realistically, what it seems like, again, tinfoil hat, but it seems like they're doing this to sort of send a message to the BBC saying your contract is up in 2027 when you're given, an extension from the government. And if you want to get something better, if you want to get some more money added on, you got to play by our rules and basically don't criticize us as an institution. That's basically it.
Laura Koonsberg is moving on, man. I mean, so the end of the tough questions. She's moving on in April, I understand. But no, that's not good. It's a little
so
slight,
it's very alarming. And the fact that a government can do this is like, okay, I see what you're doing. I see where this is going. It's basically slowly pushing in that direction because you still got 5 years to go. And they're like, oh, you got 5 years to make up for it.
Yeah, but once we lose a sector, journalism or journalists who can't keep or won't keep a government accountable, that's dangerous, man. That's absolutely.
It is, and this is something that James O'Brien said. He said on a show today at LBC, I was listening to it. He said he left the BBC because on the BBC he had to be so impartial that he couldn't criticize anyone. He couldn't criticize the government. He couldn't criticize Donald Trump, etc. He wasn't allowed to do it. So he quit because he said, I need to have an opinion. And that's fair, which basically shows that the BBC is very impartial as much as they can try and be. They're not the best news outlet. They don't cover small stories or anything like that. As we saw with the immigration bill, it wasn't covered at all. It was all about the Tory party. So I get it, but it's imperfect. But entertainment wise and giving people opportunities, it's better than most institutions by a long, long mile. So you're just thinking, what happens next for those shows? I hope they don't get cut. I hope nothing goes wrong for them, and I hope that they're able to keep ends meeting. But freezing it year on year, inflation's going up as well, which I'm sure you know. Cost of living is going up, which means your production's probably going to go up as well with it. The cost of making shows is going to go up with it. So what's going to give? And I reckon the minority shows are probably going to end up giving first, the ones that had the lowest viewing figures, that were basically built to give people a platform or an opportunity.
Yeah. Mainstream EastEnders, things like that will always stay. But yeah, if it's going to cut, it's going to cut. The low-hanging fruit has to go first.
Yeah. Actually, no. Well, is it low-hanging fruit? Because the low-hanging fruit is like, that analogy is for the easy option, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's easier to cut those, isn't it? Because it's like,
yeah, true.
Who's going to miss you if you go, isn't it? But then it's like, okay, so these guys who want to break onto the scene now, where do they go? Then, well, they have to then appeal to private networks, don't they?
Can't go through the BBC anymore, mate. You got to find your own different avenues. Probably original content through stuff like YouTube. That's probably your next best bet, which doesn't have the same advertising power or pull.
I don't know, man. Some of these YouTubers who've got millions of subscribers.
Yeah, but it took them years to build up those millions of subs.
No, they have. But I mean, if you're somebody who partners with them, even if it's paid, like paid sponsorship, but you're promoting your content through a qualified, engaged audience, I think that's the future, man. I think the way people consume content, a lot of it is going to be YouTube. We all do on demand, Netflix and everything.
Yeah,
that's the other thing.
But if you're a writer, going onto YouTube and trying to build your show, it's not the same.
Yeah, not writing. I was thinking more about like performing or whatever else it might be. They're essentially, YouTubers are going to become promoters, man, for these types of people. Yeah, not for written word. That I don't know what you do.
They kind of are at the moment, aren't they? Because they tend to run their own ads within their own, show or clips or whatever. And then they have the YouTube ad revenue at the beginning and end, sometimes in the middle. It depends on which stream you watch.
Absolutely, man. So that is the future, I think.
So you reckon the end of the BBC and just move on to that?
Well, and obviously the other thing is on demand, isn't it? How much content we can do. I even think now, I was like, do I need Sky? Do I need Sky? I was actually thinking about this the other day. We just renewed the contract. So obviously I do need Sky for a little bit longer. But longer term, do I need Sky? What is it that actually value I get from it? Everything, most of what we watch is on demand. The only things I'm really going to watch are breaking news, sports events, which I
think Sky is probably for the older generation now because they're comfortable using their own channels. You get like Sikh channel, etc., Punjab News, all that stuff. Like you get those on Sky.
Well, look, as a platform, it's excellent. It's very easy to use. It's got voice control now and things. It's just it is easy. Yeah, and there's no glitches. Which you can, the other mainstream thing that people do is get these dodgy boxes, those chipped Cody sticks and all that kind of stuff. But then it's like your server goes down and this, and this, and so that's still hit and miss. But yeah, I don't know. I think outside of shows and those live events, what do you really watch? I don't really watch like daytime TV or the shows that are on there. And not
I
live.
I think it's really just sports, isn't it? It's sports. Sometimes a little bit of Saturday night or Sunday night TV. That's pretty much it, man. Even when I was ill a couple of days ago, I didn't turn the daytime TV on because it's just shit TV.
Yeah, right? Yeah. It's just filler, isn't it? It's like filler content.
Yeah.
And it's like even if films are on TV, you just don't like that. That's not where I'd go to watch a film now. There are dedicated platforms for that now. Plus YouTube, that's the thing now. Like if I'm at the end of the day, I want to chill out a little bit. I have the choice between, do I put the TV on or actually no, I like the suggested videos that come to my YouTube channel now. It kind of knows what I like.
Yeah, so sometimes the shorter form content is nicer, isn't it?
Isn't it? Because I can get through a few, and it's like, oh, here's a Joe Rogan clip from his recent thing. Yes, that's appealing to me. I want to learn about that. Then there'll be like, might be like a Bhangra mix over here or something. Oh, okay, I might check that out. Then it might be something from Ali Abdal. Then it could be something about the mind, whatever it is. It just knows, and I'm like, that's a good selection of things I actually want to watch.
Yeah,
and I can flick in and out, find some new things. And You just have more control. I think that's what people like. That's what I
Hmm.
like. It's just I can flip in, rather than if I'm watching something which is with breaks. Now, even like ads are the most annoying thing on TV.
I will never pay for premium YouTube. The day I do, you can
Hmm.
mock me. I refuse to do it. I will
What's
not do
the
it.
you know the hack that most people do for YouTube Premium? You just get the India subscription. It's like 10 rupees or something.
What
And
do
you
you
can
mean the
just use
India
it.
subscription?
So you basically use a VPN to make it look like you're using your YouTube in India. So you pay the India rate, not the UK rate. Most people do that. And that's it.
What? Really?
Yeah, mate. This is
Look at
big
this
news to me.
smile.
Yeah. It's like when I told you how to AirPlay to TV, you're like, what? What is
Yeah, I didn't know I
this?
could do that, man. I didn't know I could do that at all.
So there's always
And I'm
hacks around
supposed to
these
be the
things, man.
flipping technical one, yeah.
Mate, Iron Man. Okay. Who are you as an Avenger? Oh, we talked about Hawkeye.
I don't bloody remember.
No, you're not Hawkeye. You're Chris Pratt.
I'm Chris Pratt. You don't even call him his name.
Yeah, I forgot his name.
You're Chris Pratt, innit?
Star Lord.
Yeah, call yourself a bloody Avengers fan.
That's it. I'm a Tony Stark fan, man. I think he's Star Lord.
Yeah, he's dead now. Sorry.
He messed it up, man. They were
How
gonna
did he mess
defeat
it up? He
Thanos.
died.
They were gonna defeat Thanos in oh shit, what's it called? Yeah, Endgame
On
Part
that
1.
planet. On that planet.
Yeah, yeah. And then you just got angry and you started punching him in the face. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Emotion.
Emotion. Yeah, well, just come on, you're an Avenger, man.
How tight was that glove though? I kept thinking, like, hang on,
Come
Thanos, you got that gauntlet on tight, you know. It's a very snug fit.
Come on, man.
They were pulling it off for a while. I was like, yo, just pull it off, boys. It's cool.
And it was coming, man. But then you think about it, it's like he just chopped off his arm in it. Just ran off. Chopped off his arm, made the little portal thing, and he's going, whoop. That's it, gone.
Oh, yeah, it's true. If you just
You know
get the portal open,
yeah,
ching his arm off. That's
gone,
it, done. It's
gone,
mine
gone,
now.
gone, done,
It's
done,
mine.
done, done, done.
Right.
That's it. Chop the arm off, man. That's what you need to do.
Oh man, why did no one ever think of that?
Trust me, man. Like it was so frustrating. I was not YouTube. I was googling. I was like, why didn't they do this? Why didn't they do this after the film? And then my thing was about how do you bring Tony back? Use the stones, bring him back. I was just
They probably will at some point. If things go badly, they might bring him back. Who knows?
If things go badly,
no, genuinely. If things go badly, they might just bring him back. Like, yeah, nostalgia.
Yeah.
Let's go. Right, run it.
Love it.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Mm.
And I think that might be it. I can give you one last thing,
Oh, I can give you one last thing.
which I don't think that you'll be able to answer.
Oh, that's great, isn't it? Listeners,
It
he's
is.
always challenging me. I have such a challenging job. I need to come home
Oh, shut
to be
up.
challenged on the podcast. Like somebody asked me today, "What's your
What are you
podcast
doing,
about?" And I was like, "Indy's gonna just ask me tough questions." I was like, I
I don't ask you tough questions, do I? I'm like, Darren,
I feel like a
tell me the meaning of
candidate.
this, and this.
Tell me the meaning of life. Right,
I don't tell you tough questions. I'm like, no. I'll give you like some context, easy ones.
Go on,
Sometimes
go
I
on.
might
What's the
mix
question?
in one or two difficult ones. But going back on your point of saying that the world is changing, it is because Joe Rogan gets more hits now than CNN News.
That is the world we live in, man. Okay.
That's crazy, isn't it?
But
Absolutely crazy.
look, you know what it is though. His credibility is built on he brings quality people in a format that people like to consume, ask questions, offers like not on a script, and that's why people love it. Like if you are somebody who can bring Elon Musk, Jordan Peterson, bang on your show, and they're just riffing on stuff unscripted. Come on, man! Like no narrative. He's not okay. He gets paid by Spotify. But Joe Rogan definitely isn't one of those people who is like, you're going to tell me what to do. The day that happens, he's like, I'm not going with you. There's another people, 10 people lined up.
He wants his independence, yeah, for sure. Big advocate of free speech.
I think that's important. That's really important. And the same with the guests he brings on. So that's not surprising to me. As long as
it's not surprising, but it's like, damn, you can see why companies like CNN, etc., pick on him. Because they're scared of him and they need like a common villain. So it's like, oh, okay. At least people can see it and call it for what it is. It is a shame though that has to keep on happening to him, and that people feel like it's okay to punch up. Is that right? Yeah, I guess you're punching up on him.
You become the target.
Like, okay, it's fine. Become the apex, one day. The apex predator.
The apex podcasters will be there one day.
No one, and that's fine. I'm okay with not being the apex predator.
God, such a
I don't want to be
realist, aren't you?
hunted. I'm cool with that, you know.
If you're being hunted, you're doing something right. Remember that.
Sorry,
If you're being hunted, you're doing something right.
who told you that?
I told you that.
Who told you that? Yeah.
No, I just made it up now.
No, I don't think that's right, you know.
No,
If
it's
you're being
not right,
hunted,
man.
it
It's not
means
right.
you're not the
It,
apex,
it,
isn't
it,
it?
it, it can be right in some contexts, but obviously when you're Hitler and you're being hunted, that's obviously the right thing to do. But um, sometimes it's just a mark of respect, okay? Because you know, hate is gonna hate, man. And if you're doing something and people have an opinion, you probably are, you know, speaking up for at least somebody in the right way. The point is never for everybody to agree with what you say. As we
Yeah.
found with the YouTube bits, the bits where the comments we get on things which I think are so bloody obvious, and then people want to argue about that. I'm like, really? This is like, this bill is bad because it's bad for minority people. And then the comment was, this bill is really good and lots of people support it.
Loads of
I'm
people
like,
want it, and I'm like, okay,
it's like, mate.
tell me more.
Oh, it makes no sense, man. It's like, are you for real?
Oh man, it's too much, man. Some people are just hilarious, but I can't believe that he's overtaken news networks now, which is crazy when you think about it.
The JRE, man.
Having your own independent platform is important. I think all journalists, etc., people on TV should always have their own independent platform building in case TV goes under, because it's going to happen eventually one day by the looks of it, unless they start transitioning more and more to streaming.
So Suk said, remember Suk on one of our first podcasts, he said exactly the same thing.
Yeah. He said
so
it is moving
they're
in that
competing
direction.
now, and they're competing with these other platforms. And it's amazing to think how far they've come, man. These platforms are producing their own films, man. That was never the case when they started.
No.
That means actors are willingly saying, I will release something exclusive for your platform rather than taking this to cinema, traditional route. That's big, man. That's really big. You've got to think that obviously from a revenue point of view, they must be making P, man. Otherwise, why are they doing it?
Yeah, obviously.
You know what I mean? And I enjoy it, man. I get onto Netflix. This is Netflix exclusive, released this week. I'm watching that. I'm sold, man. Like, it's one of those things.
You have to go to the cinema for that, mate. No. Did you know legally they have to put it out in cinema for like a week for it to qualify for the Oscars? For just any sort of award, you have to put it in cinema for a week minimum.
Didn't know that. Okay.
Only in like a few. It doesn't have to be all of them, but yeah. There's like a bare minimum threshold. Yeah, I'm sure places have done that, like a bare minimum, just to get onto the awards.
Fair enough. If they're doing it for that, some films are clearly never going to win an Oscar, but it's not bad.
No, of course.
Red. How's it called?
Red.
Man? Red something, man. Oh, Red Pilot. Red Operation. Red Operation. The Rock, Gal Gadot, and not Ryan Gosling. The other Ryan.
Oh, that Asian film.
Ryan. Check. Who's the other Ryan? Deadpool.
Gosling.
No, not Gosling. Who's the
Reynolds.
other Ryan? Reynolds. Right.
See,
Ryan
I get
Reynolds,
them mixed up all the time. Red Notice.
Johnson.
Red Notice.
Red Notice. That was close. Yeah, that film is never going to watch an Oscar. It's a good watch. It's action. It's fine. They make a lot of money off it. High grossing. It's fine. I think that's what it's about. Entertainment. I was talking to somebody about this, about how, you get these Logan Pauls having boxing matches with like MMA stars and real boxers. Why is this happening? They're clearly not boxers. How are they making more money than Canelo Alvarez, who's like one of the best boxers on the planet at the moment? Because it's entertainment.
Advertising, pull, entertainment, all that stuff.
Entertainment. People want entertainment, man. They just want to see these funky things, and people who have an engaged audience will pay for that privilege.
Of course.
We need to become more entertaining. Maybe we should have a charity boxing match. Maybe that's what
I'm not up for that because I'm pretty sure. I remember. Well, I'll end the podcast on this. I went to a boxing class when I was about 19. I got punched, and I got punched so hard, my right ear, I couldn't hear him for 3 days. So I was like, I ain't going back to that again. It's done. Right.
Excellent.
And I'm pretty sure that's contributed to me needing another ear up. But it's cool. Don't worry about it.
Listen, we can have rules. I just punch you in the ear, isn't it?
Don't punch me in the ear. That's a prime knockout. You connect with someone in their ear. It's like knockout power.
There's your nose and your eyes and your mouth. I got lots of things to aim for.
Why would I go for that?
It's what the viewers want to see, guys. I'm putting it out there. Do you want to see? Okay, no. let me lighten it a little bit. Okay, we'll do it in the sumo suits, and we just got to push each other out the ring. Yeah, or like the gladiator sticks, foam ones. If you want to see that, if you want to see the rumble in the jungle. Okay,
you know what, Karan? I would the gladiator things. You can go to places like indoor trampoline and fight with that. I'll do
Yeah.
that with you. Why
You're
not?
down for that. You're down for
Yeah,
that.
yeah. That'll be fun.
Guys, if you want to see that, if you want to see Indy and I compete in any other sporting activity, you just let us know. If you want to see how Indy and I do a dance off, that can be arranged as well. There's many things we can do. Many things. Whatever the viewers want to see, we'll do, because this is a entertainment industry.
Sure, why not? Let's see what the people say. Yeah.
Create a poll, Indy. Create a poll.
I'll create a poll. All right, guys, you heard about the poll. Please, I'm pointing down to the bottom of the screen. If you're on Spotify, please put in the answer to the question, and also comment on YouTube as well. That'd be great. Thank you. Please do share this with other people if you think it was insightful or funny or lightened your day or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. Do we lighten your day? Tell us. Message us. There's enough of you listening. You just don't tell us, innit? So just tell us.
Yeah, just tell us.
Just tell us. That's it.
Make Indy happy.
Make Karan happy too. Make both of us happy. Okay. Deal. All right, Karan, I'll catch you soon. Catch you guys later. We have a guest next week. You'll find out who it is next week. Bye.